We've gone wonky, babe.
Here's your very pink cup.
I might unplug that. Coming in a bit more?
Yeah.
You shut this.
Look at your really pink cup.
I put my ring inside the laptop. Honestly. So.
Hi everyone that isn't in the room yet.
I can just see it going on a wonk. Can you see it moving?
Yeah. Push it. No, you can't really push further across because the controls are there.
Huh?
I'll do some DIY on it.
We might just have to let it drop. So we did promise a live tonight, and we did promise not to be wonky.
We have a wonky donkey camera.
I think it's just because my phone needs to be moved over.
We're still live.
Yeah. Hopefully that will be better. Do you think that will be better?
Well, it's not wonky yet.
No. Well.
I need to shut the door.
So, I just keep getting these notifications for ourselves. I don't understand it. I don't understand why. Right. So, how we got together. If anyone watches this, it'd be a miracle. Absolute.
So we were very young, weren't we?
So yeah, I was 18 and you were 20. 20.
20.
Yes.
I'm not 20 anymore.
No.
So.
I was dating somebody. And Jason was sort of on a date, weren't you?
I was not on a date.
Okay, he was hoping he was on a date, but I don't think he was on a date.
I was meeting Shell, wasn't I?
I don't think we should name names.
Right.
You have now. But anyway, I
was meeting Shell, I wasn't on a date.
We were on a date anyway, weren't we? No, we weren't on a date. Stop it.
You were on a date.
I wasn't on a date. I wasn't on a date at all. I literally wonder if putting that light on would be better or too bright.
Mm-mm.
I think that's better, yeah. I wasn't on a date, actually. Thank you very much. We were just going out for the evening to the pub. It was a lovely summer's evening.
Was it a Sunday where we do karaoke?
Yeah, it was a Sunday. So we'd go out every Sunday to like this place and go to karaoke after we'd been to the pub. And so we'd go to another pub and basically do karaoke.
Very badly.
Do you want to sing?
No.
And so I was seeing somebody, but we just started talking, didn't we?
Yeah.
We talked, and my boyfriend didn't like it. And my boyfriend did everything to try and put you off me, for me to put.
Well, both ways it works.
Yeah, to put us off each other.
I worked with your boyfriend, didn't I, at the time?
But then he dumped me, so more for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we sort of bumped into each other at the pub again on another Sunday night.
Yeah.
I think about 2 weeks after I'd been dumped, and so who dumped me, one of his best friend's girlfriends sort of match made us, didn't she?
Yeah. So we both knew her. So sort of was our mutual friend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we both knew her, so she decided to matchmake us.
So I asked him to take me out on... No, you asked for a drink. I asked you for a drink, and he bought me this pint of Coke thinking that I was blind drunk, which I thought was very rude, as I'd only had one drink.
But you can thank our mutual friend for that.
So he got me this pint of Coke. Then I said, can I have a real drink? Back then, my typical choice was vodka and Coke. So I had a vodka and Coke, and then
it wasn't until the next time I went out with you.
Oh, we were on a wonk again. We then arranged to go out the following week for a date, didn't we? And basically we
You had lots of vodka that
got
night.
very drunk. I got very drunk because he was driving, so he only had the one. But I said to him, like, I was really nervous. So he said, "Oh, what do you want to drink?" So I said, "Oh, I'll have a double vodka and Coke." Well, he just decided to carry on giving me double. So I must have had about 6 double vodkas and Coke.
To be honest, I didn't decide to give you double vodkas and Coke. My 2 friends that were there.
No, that's rubbish. You carried on giving me double vodka and Coke. I was absolutely plastered. And I tell you, I told everybody in the nightclub we were in, I was going to take him home and I was basically going to like ravish the poor man. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to take him home. I'm going to take him to bed. And that's not me at all. Like it's ghastly behaviour. I was absolutely wasted. So of course, naturally, he was a gentleman and he took me home.
Gentleman.
I tell you, I was so drunk. The next day I had to be up early and go to work. I couldn't feel my legs. I was so drunk. My legs were tingling and I literally like was ready. I thought I think I was probably 3 shades off alcohol poisoning.
Sorry.
And then of course, because I was trying to like, you know, get him to come home with me, I left my phone at home and he messaged my phone saying, "Oh, you know quite a lot about you know what." And my mum was like, "Hang on a minute, who's this Jason? Who's this What's he saying? What's he saying that to you? What did you do last night?" I didn't do nothing. I wasn't in any fit state to do anything. But by the time I got home, I could barely even see. I'll tell you. But I never drank vodka again, did I, babe? He poisoned me off the vodka. I tell you, I could never ever drink vodka again. Oh,
to be fair,
no.
thanks to my best mate, I don't drink vodka because he did virtually the same thing to me about 3 years before. And I'd absolutely hammered.
And I think the next story, really. So basically, that's how we met.
Yeah.
And we got thrown together. And Jace then after the first catastrophe of a very drunken date, you offered to take me out for a nice meal and he booked us a hotel room and it was all very romantic. And where did you take me for dinner?
TGI's.
And we went to the cinema, didn't we? And and it was really nice, wasn't it?
And you set off the bandit screens in Morrison's.
Yeah, so I had this balloon from TGI's. I swear to God, we were probably drunk then, but like sensible, tipsy. And at the time, I think it was really fashionable to give people balloons. So we were giving this blooming bunch of balloons, weren't we? It was quite late. And we wanted, I know it sounds ridiculous because we'd been for a meal, but we wanted to go and get like some snacks. So we wanted to go and get like some sweets and stuff because at the time, the Premier Inn did really good films, didn't they? So we could rent a film in the room and it was so much cheaper than going to the cinema. So literally, I went into Morrison's, the balloon, and there's like bandit screens that come down over the cashier and it scared her to death. Like literally, and they had to like reset the whole store while we were in there. I just thought, I don't think we were literally by the 3rd date, I think we thought we couldn't get a break.
Yeah, problem was, I at the time worked for Morrison's and I'd set the bins off 3 hours earlier when I was catching up at the petrol station.
So and really we've just been history since then.
Yeah.
We've just been together, we dated for quite a while. And we've just been...
I'm married in 2009.
Well, we got engaged that Christmas, didn't we? So we'd only been together like 3 months when we actually got engaged. And that was a whirlwind, wasn't it? So we were engaged.
I remember asking you.
Oh yes, the engagement story. That's a good story. So now we're at the engagement story. So I may as well tell it. I may as well just carry on talking because he passed out. So we were in the pub. It was 5-10 minutes to like 12 on a New Year's Eve, and he literally says to me, "Let's go in, babe." I was like, "Hang on a minute, like we paid to go to this New Year's party. We're in a party. It's 10 minutes to 12. I couldn't believe it." And he drags me home. He drags me back to his mum and dad's house, which was just around the corner from the pub, so it wasn't far. Drags me up to his room, nearly falls and breaks his neck on the stairs. Sits on his bed and he goes, "Babe, will you marry me?" And I was like, and he literally passed out. Didn't you?
Yeah.
Clean out. He was. Absolutely passed out. And then he turns to me the next morning, after I'd slept on a very uncomfortable night on his floor. I was fuming. He'd asked me to marry him. He'd left me on our first New Year's together to sit with his mum and dad and celebrate New Year's with his mum and dad, who I barely knew, while he was flat out in bed. That's the sort of man I married.
To be fair, I don't drink anymore.
Not like that, you don't. But we're not 20 anymore.
Yeah, I do drive for a living, so my boss may have something to say about it if I did.
So that was the engagement story.
Yeah. I just asked you again.
And it all went downhill from there, really.
So anyway, 2009 we got married.
Yeah, we got married in 2009.
Ailey came along in 2012.
We could talk about the wedding.
Yeah.
We had a beautiful wedding. We got married in a little church in Tewkesbury. And we had our wedding reception at the Abbey Hotel in Malvern. And it was the hottest, officially the hottest day of the year. And I was boiling in my wedding dress. Absolutely boiling.
We had a Brazilian vicar who...
Oh God, we don't get any luck, do we? Our vicar, what did our vicar say to you? What I have to do?
He can speak better English than he makes out. So his English wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't as bad as he necessarily made out that it was.
Honour and obey, isn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he literally asked me to pleasure and obey Jason.
And he was smiling his head off, so he knew exactly what he was saying.
No, I think he didn't. I think I think he just wanted to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah. I know we nearly burned. That wasn't the wedding, was it?
No, that was the christening. And he dropped a candle at our daughter's christening as well at the altar, didn't he? It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Oh, the drama. Every time we do anything, we have to have a bit of drama thrown in, don't we? Like at the wedding, your friend, do you remember your friend got blind drunk and broke her foot and we had to call an ambulance?
Her foot.
Well, she sprained it severely.
No, she didn't.
She did. She was very drunk. She fell over and she was very drunk. But we do love a bit of... this has got to go. We've got to get a new tripod. This one's wonky. So the next thing I was going to say, can we talk about, is the new camera equipment we want to get.
Yeah. So we are looking at the Sony ZV-1, aren't we? Which is
apparently so. We're looking at that. We're looking at that one.
So it's a vlogging,
doesn't mean anything to me.
So it's a vlogging camera. So it should be better quality.
Because we're on our phones at the moment, aren't we? We're on an iPhone, the brand new iPhone, and the
Galaxy
yours? Show yours.
Ultra.
Yeah, so this one. But I have done an amazing vlog as well today. We've been out and we've redone B&M. There is I can't believe there's so much new homeware, and the summer stock that is coming in, the garden party wear. It is gorgeous, the garden wear. It is absolutely stunning. So I've got all that coming tomorrow. A load of new storage in as well. I've got all that coming tomorrow in a vlog.
B&M wallpaper.
And yes,
nationwide.
B&M nationwide I'm not sure if Jess will see this, but I might message Jess on who follows our YouTube and we follow her back. They have got all their wallpaper, so including this wallpaper behind us.
£2 a roll.
£2 a roll, all their wallpaper. So if anyone wants wallpaper, get on that quick. We've literally got wallpaper for anything every room. Anything we may need now, we've got some wallpaper for. We haven't had any messages, have we? You just check. Yes, so we've got so much wallpaper. I bought some beautiful wallpaper today for Islas, some really nice pink wallpaper. We're looking into doing her DFG, so hopefully we can use it for that. 3 lovely rolls, so it's just like, it's got almost like ripply lines, but and it's also got like a little bit of glitz in, but it's really nice candy pink. And then I found like 2 rolls of like unicorn paper, which is almost like a satiny colour, like it's got a satiny sort of shimmery texture to it, hasn't it? It's like got creams, purples, pinks. So I think they'll really go well together, even if we just do pink on one wall unicorn on one wall and then have the other two plain. I think it'll work really, really well. Like, I don't know the size, I don't know. So I think it'll work really, really well. At least we'll get 2 walls. Who has commented? Rose. Are we planning on having any more children? Rosie said. Can I just have your phone?
I turned it on to the chat thing.
Let me see if I can. Oh no. Okay. So I literally see if you can see the chat on the laptop. We would love to have more children.
If we could,
we would love to.
If we could somehow guarantee that if we got pregnant again, we'd have another Robin.
Yeah.
Then we'd have another baby. Because we know the baby's
when you
gonna
say
come
that,
early.
you mean like if we could have a pregnancy where they pick up on the baby's issues and we can actually have them born in the same environment. Like, it's really difficult because I have a blood clotting disorder. So around 26 to 27 weeks, the baby starts like feeding the
placenta starts failing.
The placenta starts failing, but the baby starts protecting its brain, so rushes its blood to its brain, which eventually would flood the brain, and then we'd have issues with the baby. And so it's all a big sort of rigmarole, really, but it has to be done really sensitively. Like, I have to make sure my weight's at a good optimum. I have to make sure that all my medicines would be changed over before we start trying. At the minute we've got space and really we've got money issues because we haven't got the money really to go and buy like a 4-bed house, and we would need another bedroom on top of the bedroom we need for Rowan right now. So if we extend for Isla, then Rowan gets a bedroom. So it's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, and the other question was, where is your favourite UK holiday?
Our favourite UK holiday? Well, this is going to be so flipping cheesy, but where do we love to go?
Bude.
Bude?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Butlins.
Yes, we love Butlins. Oh my goodness, don't we? What are you on about Bude? Bude is beautiful, mind. Bude is definitely a second. Oh, it is stunning. I just love Bude for the little like pools that like they appear in the stones. When you get down towards the stand, it just sort of pools. The water just sort of pools in the sand. You get all these little pools for the kids to play in, and we can just sit there with Isla and she can have a little play in the water. I just think it's fabulous, Bude. But I love Butlins.
So the other thing I would say about Butlins, especially Bognor Butlins.
Yeah, Bognor we go to.
I lived in Portsmouth when I was a teenager. So we tend to go to a beach, don't we, in Haylen Island, which is really quiet, it's really secluded, it's done like an arcade, some rides, and it's quite a nice, quiet
What's Rosie put?
Beach.
I read the first bit and it's gone too fast.
Have we been to Haven holidays?
We haven't done Haven. Yeah, I read that bit, but I didn't read the last bit.
Where did we go for our honeymoon?
Oh, honeymoon. Now you're talking. So, we haven't done Haven, but I do know that Haven is really great with to take disabled children to. I've had a friend that's recently, not long, just been actually. She went just before Christmas. They had like a really close to Christmas trip. Just before Christmas. I think it was like 2 days they came back before actual Christmas. And I do know it's absolutely fantastic. So I really would like to take her around Christmas time, actually, because they do like a Christmas winter trail. I noticed like a big light trail. It does look really fab. So I think we should try Haven. We get Butlins through a charity for disabled children. I've mentioned it a few times, but the Family Fund charity. So if you buy McCain chips, a percentage of that money goes to the Family Fund charity, and they really do help.
Yeah.
So every other year we can have a 4-day holiday to Butlins.
And also, if families with a disabled child are struggling for appliances or anything like that, I'll also support
that.
With that, because we've had a fridge, a cooker, various.
And that's like autism, anything. So you might come across somebody that has a child with any sort of disability. Really, the Family Fund might be able to help them. So it's a good piece of information to have, because we had Isla 3 or 4 years before we even knew about the charity, and then somebody just the cuff mentioned it to us. So our honeymoon, where did we go on our honeymoon?
New York. Oh.
Do you know what? I tell you, everything we do, we've got a funny story. We've got a really funny story about New York, haven't we?
Yeah. It's Speech's credit card doesn't work when you're halfway across the Atlantic.
We had our first marital row.
Yeah.
When we went to New York, because we stayed in this little hotel and we had a blazing row because we booked it through Expedia and they'd not booked our hotel, had they? No. Our hotel room. And so the hotel were like, well, we need like all of this money off you, when we just didn't have it. We just spent a lot of money on a wedding.
And to Expedia.
And out to, I think we spent about £750 on 4 nights in New York. So I don't think it doesn't sound a lot now, but we're talking what, 13, 14 years ago, near enough. So it was a lot there. We felt like it was a lot then anyway to us. We'd never spent that amount on a holiday. We'd spent like £350 going to Greece for a week. So it felt really expensive to us and luxurious, didn't it? Like to go on the first time you ever went to America, wasn't it?
The room was nice and luxurious after.
Yeah, the room was massive, mind. The room was massive. We had two queens.
Yeah.
2 queen beds. Honest to God, we had 2 queen beds, a massive sofa. This spa, like you can only describe it. It was a spa, like what do you call it? A jacuzzi, full-blown jacuzzi in the room. We'd never seen anything like it. There was like a jacuzzi with tiles around it. Then the rest of the room was tiled, and I just looked at Jason. I was like, what if you had a flood or somebody got drunk and was having a party in there? It just didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It was very bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, the receptionist, because he felt bad for us because of what Expedia had done, he literally told Expedia that all the rooms had gone and the only things available were suites, and then basically got as much money out of them as possible, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he did the hotel a favour and did us a favour. But
we walked all over we were staying in Queens, so we walked over the Queen's Bridge, didn't we? And that was just so amazing, because we'd never seen something like it before. The Queen's Bridge has got the river and boats running underneath. Then you've got a road where you can then you've got like the cycle path that's like next to the road, fenced off, and then you've also got a train track running over it as well. So you're like walking and you can sort of hear and feel the vibrations of the trains going, and you can see boats on the river and helicopters taking off. There's like a massive helipad when you get into the other side, when you're actually walking then into Manhattan. It's just madness. It was most madness for our age. It was just mad. And I'm really pleased we did have the issues, and we did stay at a cheaper hotel in Queens, and we didn't opt for somewhere on 5th Avenue actually, because we literally got to see so much of New York that I don't think we would have seen if we hadn't stayed where we stayed. Do you?
No.
And then I suppose we didn't do an awful lot. We went to the Empire State Building. And that was just so amazing. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah. So we do, sometimes we get time like this, sometimes we get time on our own. But we also did the Statue of Liberty, didn't we? We went up to see it. We didn't actually go onto the island, but went over to see it. We saw Tiffany's, breakfast at Tiffany's. That was quite amazing for me. What else did we do? Dylan's Candies, Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, we've got a story about Bloomingdale's. So we went to Bloomingdale's. Oh, my gosh, this woman was hyper on 10. Went into Bloomingdale's and I was looking at Juicy Couture perfume. I was really into Juicy Couture back then. And I bought this Juicy Couture perfume, and it was $100, wasn't it? It was like all my spending money, really, like for my personal use. It was like all my spending money. So I bought it, and it came with like this free gift box, and then all these free freebies. And she's like, I'll give you a gift box for your best friend, and I'll give you a gift box for your mum. So I ended up, I'm not even joking. I ended up, there is pictures. I'll have to try and get the pictures of New York and upload them into a vlog so people can see them. Because see, we didn't film back then at all. And I've got all these bags. So we're walking outside of New Macy's with these bags, and I've got my travel map, and my mother's friend that she works with was doing a tour of the US. So she said to my mum, I saw Kate and Jason in New York. I was screaming my lungs out. Kate, Jason, she said. I was screaming at them. And she said, blow me, Margaret, blow me down. Did they acknowledge me? She had the map. Jason had the bags. They were going, they were going for it. So, and our worst holiday. Have we had a worst holiday?
Nottingham was interesting.
That was just an overnight stay.
Yeah, that's the worst hotel we've ever.
We did have a horror hotel in Nottingham, but I think the worst hotel was when you were attacked in
that was just
Alicante. Him and his friend
it
Ryan.
It wasn't Alicante. It was
Heraclian.
Zante.
Zante. No, it wasn't in Zante. Stallis.
Was it?
It was in Stallis, outside of Marlia. And him and his friend Ryan went down to ask the bloke politely to turn the music down because we'd listened to the bar all week, and we had a really early flight the next day, and they had a young daughter. We didn't have children then, and he was basically they basically chased with a knife back to the room, and absolute wimps, I swear to God. So we all ended up sleeping in one room, and him and Ryan pushed the fridge freezer against the door. And they were like cowering like cowards. They were like cowering, literally. Like the police were trying to get through the door. Like, no, we're not letting you in, love. But it was fine. But that was our worst holiday, I think.
Free time. So Isla goes to respite on a
Wednesday, so tonight.
Yeah. So Wednesday overnight into Thursday, which gets us that pretty much is free time every week, doesn't it?
It sort of is a nice time for us to just sit, chill out. Once Rowan's in bed, we have a little bit of time for ourselves. I don't normally cook on a Wednesday. We'll normally get like a takeaway or something to like throw in the oven that's sort of like, pre-made. Or just a simple meal, don't we? We just normally tend to, just simple. So we do get some time there, and sometimes, like if my mum's over, sometimes we get a bit of time, but we don't get a huge amount of free time.
No.
We do love, but we worked so hard, and it took us so long to get Rowan and to get Isla to a healthy state where she's not having seizures all the time, she's not in hospital all the time, and that burden really of having to go into hospital and spend days and days in hospital, like that's taken off Isla, so she doesn't have any of that, and when we're at home, we really enjoy our time. We enjoy our time, and I think that's why we're trying to get more holidays in as well, isn't it? I mean, when we go to Florida this time in May, we're taking my mum with us, so I don't know if she knows it, but we're taking my mum so that we can have some date nights. And then where are you taking me on my date nights?
Islands of Adventure. Lots of big roller coasters.
I need help, Rosie, really. I mean, that's what I get. Do you get free time? No, because he doesn't want to do anything nice with me. He doesn't want to take me for a nice meal.
Too.
He wants to crucify me on a roller coaster.
I'll take you for a nice meal before I take you on all the big roller coasters.
No, you won't. It's got to be the other way round. We will, but we're gonna have a date night in Islands of Adventure, aren't we? So we can like do the Harry Potter rides and things, which I'm desperate to do, which I've not done yet because we've had the children with us. So we can do that as a couple, and then I think we are gonna have a nice night, aren't we? A nice night out and have a nice meal because it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Right before we go, so I'm not celebrating my birthday. We're just gonna go on holiday, and I'm hoping that I get lots of treats.
You will get lots of treats.
Ice cream and.
Do either of us have tattoos?
No.
We don't. I need to get one done, don't I?
Jason wants to get one done. We just haven't really had the money all the time. And we want to do it properly as well. We want to find a nice artist because you want a nice lily, don't you?
Yeah.
With
our daughter.
Yeah. So our middle daughter who we lost.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice when we actually do get it done. And of course we'll do a vlog and we'll show you. I might actually just film him having it done because I'd really enjoy the tears. I think he's gonna cry. He's not one for pain. If men had to, it's true, isn't it? If men had to give birth, the population would be screwed because they would have one baby and be like, no, never again. They'd never be coming to us going, babe, I want another baby. They'd be like, don't even look at me. Don't even come near me, love.
Are my family involved as much as your mum?
at the moment, Jason's family is going through a bit of turmoil. So his mum and dad have split up, and can I say or not say?
Yeah.
His dad's, well, you can just say.
Yeah.
He's got some problems, hasn't he?
Yeah, so my dad's got issues which have got worse in the last few years. Is probably the nicest way to put it.
He lost a brother, and it sent him on a downward spiral, really. So his mum and dad have split up, and
my mum doesn't drive, just she. So
no.
If we want to come over, it's about £40 worth of fuel to go over, get her, drop her back. And yeah, so
and we do see her, like, so we do see her. So like with Jason's side, we can't have Jason's dad at the minute around the children. I won't have him around the children until he sorts himself out. But Jason's mum, we try and have more quality time. So like at Christmas time, she came over for 4 days. She's gonna probably come over. We're gonna have her over for maybe a week. Next week, she's coming to have Rowan for a few days while we're away in Paris with Isla for Isla's annual pass event that she wanted to go to. So, and then we'll have her over for Easter. So we do have Jason's mum involved, but it's just more, it's more scheduled and more, rather than seeing her maybe a few times a week, we see her for big blocks. She comes and stays and spends time with the children.
Do we celebrate our wedding anniversary?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We used to before COVID, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had a lovely wedding anniversary. We actually had our 10th wedding anniversary at the Animal Kingdom in Florida, didn't we? At the Animal Kingdom. Where did we eat?
I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it.
Begins with S. Canteen something. Satuli? Yeah. Satuli Canteen. Yeah, so we ate at the Satuli Canteen.
And we were out for our anniversary this time, weren't we, as well?
Just gone?
Yeah.
We were, but we just didn't really do anything, did we? We didn't really do anything. Yeah. But we did for our 10th.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest with you, this year... We
had a baby with us this year.
Yeah, but this year we went out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't say fairer than that. I mean, that's a celebration in itself, isn't it? We did have a holiday of a lifetime. My mum gave me some... My mum bought a house with her partner. So my mum had some money. So I've had some of my inheritance early. So that's how we paid for our last trip, basically, to Florida. And we are going to Florida again in May because we had so many problems with our flight home. And they had to refund us, but they refunded us for 4 flights rather than 3. So they compensated Jason, me, Isla and Rowan when we hadn't booked Rowan a flight. So we actually got over £2,000 back. And I think we booked Florida and it was about 2,300.
Yeah.
So that's basically paid for Florida this year. So that's how we're managing to go to Florida again this year. But we are staying in a much cheaper hotel. But I think it's going to be lovely anyway. I think it's just going to be lovely. I don't feel like... I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what it is like on the other foot and not like staying at Universal or staying on site at Disney because it's expensive. And I mean, we stayed at the Hilton last time, not Disney, and the Hilton was really expensive, wasn't it? But still really expensive hotel to stay at. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Hiding the small print that you may have got a lovely bargain on the face of it, but you're paying them a lovely big resort fee when you get there.
Yeah. But I think our wedding anniversary this year, I think we are really leaning towards, I'd really love to just have like a spa weekend or something like that together so that we'd actually maybe have both the nans looking after the children. We actually go away and just have some like quality time. I think since COVID, it doesn't help. Like when we do have time, we'll either go and we'll do like the food shopping or because we can. Yeah. And I think like we've just got so out of the habit like of doing and celebrating things. We've got so out of the habit, and we did lose our second baby right before sort of lockdown. So we went through all that sort of loss, grief, and then we sort of were stuck in the house, and then Isla couldn't get out and we were all getting quite frustrated. And in the end, with lockdown, where our street was, we would all, especially when it was hot, we'd all just sit outside the front, wouldn't we? And we just like would play music and have we'd all have our own little barbecues, and we'd all just sit out there and talk. And we weren't nowhere near each other, but
yeah, we're quite lucky with how our street's laid out, aren't we?
We all get on really well, don't we? We've got really great support where we do live, so that is one really nice thing. We've got a load of support. Is there any other questions?
No. So we'll go back to what we were discussing to start with. How we met, soulmates, Valentines, what we did. Are we soulmates?
We like chalk and cheese, aren't we? Do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even when we first got together, everyone would say that.
I mean, what we've been, I don't even know. We've been together so long now, I don't even know how long we've been married. So we've been married, what, 10, 11, 12, is it 14 years? It must be this year.
We've been married. 14 years this year we married. And we've been together.
16 years?
Yeah.
No, shut up.
Pretty longer than that. 2006 to 2009, so it's 3 years there.
I think.
So it's 17.
We row and stuff sometimes, but we never really row about anything. Jason's very laid back and very and I sweat all the small stuff. So I'll worry about if we've not got enough money for the bills or not got enough money for the holiday, or I don't think we've got enough spending money, and I'll budget when we're on holiday. And then I'll be like, we went on holiday, honestly, I'm not even joking. And it sounds bad, but we went to Disneyland Paris with, when we just went. And I think I worked out that we had I don't know, we could have, with credit cards and everything like that, we could have spent £4,000. And in my head, we didn't have enough money. I was stressing out about it. Ridiculous, because we didn't spend half of that. We didn't spend, we didn't even, we didn't need to touch the credit cards. We didn't need to spend money on the cards. We just spent the little bit of cash that we did have. I was just being really, really stupid. But Jason wouldn't, you just don't worry about it, do you? He's got fight, and I think that's where we argue, isn't it? We'll argue over that. I'll be like, why aren't you stressed about this bill? And he's like, 'cause when I get paid, babe, I'll pay it.
Yeah.
That's just and then we'll have a little row about that silly little thing, and then I don't know, and we won't. I wouldn't say we wouldn't talk for a few days, but we'll be just a bit mardy with each other and a bit no, I don't want you to kiss and hug me. And then the next thing you know, we'll be he's so comical. He'll just sit there now, let me talk, and he won't say anything, and we could be anywhere, and we could be in a massive group of people, and he'll just take the whole evening in, and then he'll just, at the right time, the right moment, he'll come out with a line, and everyone will die of laughter, and then they'll literally be like, he's quite comical, really, isn't he? But not, and he doesn't, and that's just, and I don't know, I think we laugh. I've never been with anybody when we would be getting up to mischief as children, I say children, we weren't children, but when we were younger, and we'd be getting up to mischief, we'd laugh, and and we'd have a few drinks, and we just end up laughing, and no one's ever made me laugh like you make me laugh.
Yeah.
Do I make you laugh?
Yeah, you're funny.
And I think our silliness feeds into each other, doesn't it? You know? And I think we clash in a good way.
But also with how, at times, how bad Islas conditions have been. If we didn't have that ability, Isla would have broke us years ago.
Yeah, and we'd have split up.
Yeah, I think because we can laugh about stuff, and because also there's plenty of people on the unit, on the children's ward in Gloucester, who know us, who will come up to us if we're in hospital and go, are you alright? What's going on? Why so-and-so? Why is your child in here? And we can be honest with these people because we've known them for
we do have rough patches, don't we, as well? Like any couple. We had a really bad rough patch the other day, and my friend was here, and we had a good conversation with my friend, and she really banged our heads together a little bit, and we had a really good conversation. And I think you said things to me that you wouldn't maybe have said. And I also did, and I said to her last night, she was like, how are you two doing now? And I was like, yeah, we're great actually. And she was like, Oh, I'm so relieved, because I was so worried. I've never seen you like that before. But I think we're so good at hiding everything, aren't we? We're so good at hiding the stress of Islas sometimes. You know, we set this YouTube to share our up and downs, and I do feel like it's hard to share those downs sometimes. It's really hard to like wear your emotions and your heart on your sleeve and say, you know, this is just really bad. This is just really rubbish.
Potential positive that we were supposed to say that turned out when I got sent a message by Stroll. Isla's tried out an electric wheelchair today, didn't she?
Yeah.
For the first time, and she looks like she did really well. Her teacher said she did really well in it, so hopefully that's a positive.
I will try and see if I can download it and upload it as a short. Yeah. That would be great. Yeah. But that'll be, just check to see if there's any questions. But yeah, that would be really great for Isla and us as a whole. I mean, I think she's going to love literally racing that round. And we have like a car park that's sort of, it's supposed to be used, but they've built a sports hall, changing room sort of leisure complex that's just not used. So they've got a car park, but it's sort of
they built it without realising
it's blocked off, so you can walk in there, but you couldn't drive in there. So literally all of the neighbourhood now really just uses it for their children to play. So I think Isla would love to like zoom up and down there when Rowan's like on his little bike, which I've got, probably will add it in on the Sunday lazy vlog. We're going to try and do a lazy Sunday vlog, so we might put some bits in from the week, or do like a weekly vlog and just have it on that Sunday. But Rowan's tried his little bike today, didn't he? I bought him a little bike second hand, and he's tried so hard today on it, didn't he? Up and down the road. It was so cute, so cute. And for everything Isla can't do, Rowan does. We're learning to be a completely different parent for Rowan, aren't we? It's madness.
Yeah, and sorry about keep yawning, but Rowan has no side on his cot and is deciding that escaping is a good idea in the middle of the night.
Yeah, last night he woke me up in the middle of the night as if to say, can I come into bed with you?
Yeah.
But we'll see how he goes, and if we have to put it back on, we will, but we'll see how he goes. So I think we should wrap it up now, do you?
Do you want to put easy with Valentine's Day and then we'll wrap
Valentine's Day? Well, our very first Valentine's, I actually got my engagement ring. Didn't I? We had it, we sort of ordered it after Christmas, didn't we?
Yeah. And
no, we didn't. I'm lying. Because we got engaged on New Year's, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then he sort of ordered it, and it just came, they had my size and they wouldn't sell it to me. And then they said that I needed an O, and they ordered it in. And then when it came, it was miles too big. And so I had to go to Worcester to change it, because that was the shop that had the right, at that time, was the only shop that had the right time. So I had to drive all the way to Worcester. Because they said they would give me the shop one. So then we had to change it. So that was a right rigmarole on Valentine's Day. By the time we got to the evening of that Valentine's Day, we were done, weren't we? But I think our Valentine's Day is every day, isn't it, really? I mean, we just do a little card, and like we have like a £15 ceiling, and we do a little gift. Nothing major. We might have some like pancakes or something, or some like heart-shaped waffles, you know.
I mean, this year we had quite a bit planned, didn't we? And then everybody was poorly.
Yeah, so we do always, actually, on Valentine's, we always have a steak supper, don't we? We always have a nice big steak. And it's sort of our little family tradition. We get the kids to bed, we wait till they're in bed, we have a little candlelight dinner, bit of wine, don't we? We just sit and we chat, and then we'll watch a film. So that's normally our Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But I have seen there is a great place in Bristol that has opened that does like boozy brunches, and it's very pretty and very chic in there. And so I do feel like next Valentine's we should book up and go there, because I think it looks fantastic. I think it would be real fun.
Yeah, sounds
real
good.
Fun. And I'd also love, just putting it out there, there's a really great cabaret club that's on the rise in London. I'd love to go to that. Love to. It's like proper vintage, like 20s, 30s cabaret club. So that would be really fab to go to that and vlog that. I think it would be amazing. They like spin around in the ceiling and everything. So I'd love to do that. So just make sure that no one else has commented or said anything, and then
we get a free coach to London.
And he works for the Stagecoach, so we do.
Don't
No,
work
no,
for
don't.
National Express.
All right. Oh, it's very touchy. Very touchy.
I do not work for Stagecoach.
Coach driver, very, very touchy. These coach drivers are. Yes, gives me hell, he does. He makes sure I know that it's a coach and not a bus he's driving. I'll tell you, you wouldn't believe it.
Me and Stagecoach don't get on.
But we do get free travel, you're right. So we just need to get free hotels now.
I'll work on that one.
Yeah, we just need free hotels and free spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can live it up in Harrods.
Yeah.
I mean, did anybody else, I'm just going to go on a tangent, but did anybody see at Christmas time, there was a programme about Harrods, and me and Jason's mum, so my mother-in-law, we were sitting here on the sofa watching it, and they were showing off this person who was buying a pen that was like a Demonte pen, was £100,000 for a pen. And I was like, oh, we'll have 10 of them. I mean, as if you would. Even if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't spend £100,000 on a pen.
This year,
but Harrods is lovely just to walk around, isn't it? It's a day out in there. You can just wander around and not buy anything. It's just stunning.
But it was all Dior'd up this year, wasn't it? It was really pretty for
Christmas. The big Dior campaign. I did love the Dior campaign. I couldn't afford to buy anything from Dior, but I do like the Dior campaign. I mean, you know, us girls, we do love a bit of Dior, but we don't buy it because it's expensive. So yeah, thanks so much for watching our craziness and our crazy stories. And we have got to 300 subscribers in the last week, so I've done just a little video to say thank you, because it means the world to us.
Yeah, it does.
It means so much. Like, it just blows me away. And I have just learnt so much by doing YouTube. We've actually set up today a lovely little channel for our friend's son who wants to get into gaming, and he is actually amazing. Like, he's so good at it that I just don't know how he manages. So but yeah, thank you, basically.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's us for tonight.
Thank you for rolling with Hatfields.
You love your quote, don't you? I don't know how to turn it off. There we go.